People don't think about where their water comes from. They just turn on the tap and they expect it to be there.
Greatest threats to our waterways are often invisible.
Notion that we'll have water forever is wrong. The world is running out of fresh water. Selling to those who can buy it and not to those who need it.
I am like an educator activist, and I think it's critical for any course to be engaged in action along with study. I started thinking about this class when I heard Maud Barlow at the Green Fest in Seattle 2 years ago. She was amazing, absolutely amazing, and I thought, wow, I had an idea of the water crisis, but not as extensive as what I was hearing her say that day. And I thought, I want to learn about this myself too. And then last year, when the curriculum committee said to me, rather than doing the Human Rights Global Visions class again, what would you really like to teach? And I said, I would like to teach something on the right to water and the global water crisis. And so that's how it came about.
I'm just really excited. It's the first class I've actually had where I can just like go do something with it, as opposed to be like, you know what I learned in class today, and like tell my friend, and then that's like it. It's like I can say it to everyone and be like, oh yeah, I took this really cool class. And so I'm really glad that now I'm aware of these issues that I had no idea existed.
First we would have to install expensive infrastructure, and then we'd have to figure out how to maintain it, and then make sure people use it right.
I mean, I've always lived near water and appreciated water. The fact that it's not this infinite resource that it seems like, when in countries like this we can just turn on our tap and there it is, that's really an illusion. So it was really good for me to sort of have that sink in more.
Do you guys think you could live on 20 liters a day?
I really, really enjoyed this class. Maud Barlow, she really lets us know that it's not too late. Even though we learn all these facts and we're just overwhelmed, and it just feels like there's nothing we can really do because we're just one little person. But we really need to think that it's not too late. We can still do something. Let's just think more of on a small scale, like within this campus.
They've spent the last 3 days from 11 to 3 in Red Square trying to create more awareness, getting signatures, and trying to educate the campus and start this thing really going.
That was really exciting for me because I was never involved in a movement that I had like a serious goal internalized that I was working towards, like this, like part of a group of students working to raise awareness about water, and also just knowing that like it's possible for something to be done about it was one thing I got out of this.
I want to thank all of you for doing what you've done to start this thing rolling on campus here. It's just a beginning, but you've got the ball rolling right now, and I think people are not at all in tune to water being a critical issue at this point, and so you're just on the cutting edge of making something happen. And you might not see the end even before it happens. You might be gone out of the university before that, but I think it's something really important that you've contributed to this university by starting this right now. And I know some of you are committed to continue to make it happen next quarter too. So. My vision of it was that in doing this education on the campus, students were going to have to do some good research at the same time.
Change is going to bring a lot more of those kinds of disasters, and if that in turn creates more, more conducive conditions to privatization, then that's, I don't know. I guess we need to figure out better solutions for that.
You are connected to all the other individuals in the world, and your actions do affect the rest of the world. And I think that's really hard for people to internalize. including myself. But I think that, you know, that across every issue that's happening right now in the world, that's the fundamental thing that needs to be happening.
I wanted to talk more about the virtual water. It talks about how it's an economic approach, but how
I think differently towards water now. I realize the power of water, and I mean, it's common sense that everything needs water to survive, but now it's like, I understand that more, I guess. I don't know, there's like something else that has happened where I just like, I understand that we need to start taking action.
We met together with Service Learning, and then Seth came to that because he's the director of the Sustainability Office, and knowing that this was all about sustainability, and he said he was really eager to have something happen on that too. He was in full support of it, and then he got the film tapped. So yeah, it's nice to network with other groups and you know, try to make something happen.
What's something I can put as like a tagline for Tapped? Like showing of the film Tapped, an in-depth preview.
Oh,
Maybe just
there's a like sentence-long great description that if you just look up Tap the movie, like one of the first things that comes up is a really short description that is good.
We need to get these up by the end of the week.
Yeah, totally.
Because this thing is next Wednesday, and
We could also just leave her out, but we still need the place, yeah.
Yeah, if we could have it done, like if we could all do that by Wednesday, then we can put it up on Wednesday.
If you guys don't know who we are Shirley's class, Fairhaven class, called The Right to Water. And so we're learning all about the global water crisis and decided to join up with this movement called Take Back the Tap.
Yeah, it's an international and national campaign that's going on. And basically we're promoting using tap water, taking back the tap and using reusable water bottles, because we've basically been spending a lot of time learning about the privatization of water and the commodification, if that's a word, of water. And that we are basically standing up, and this is our testament, that water should be a human right and not something that should be bought and sold on the free market. And so, yeah, one of the things that we've been learning about is the access to water, and in Whatcom County we have great access to water, so there's no reason why we should be buying Dasani tap water, in a bottle. But yeah, so if you haven't signed our petition, we have one outside, and we're promoting to get filtered water stations throughout campus to kind of combat the idea of buying bottled water. Take back the tap. Yes, he's here. And yeah, it's happened at Portland State University. Has filtered water stations all over their campus, and so we'd like to see that happen here.
Many people at the first showing of that with, you know, limited notice, I thought was pretty great. So students really rose to the occasion in getting flyers kind of posted all over it, you know, at the last minute. And so I thought it went well.
My name is Seth Nanya. I'm the Campus Sustainability Coordinator for Western. The sustainability agenda here is definitely driven by student desires. And I think that this class, Shirley's class, the Right to Water class, is a great example of that. These are students that learned about some of the injustices surrounding our distribution of water and how we treat water, and wanted to do something about it. And now here's a small group of students who's sharing this information with a large group such as yourselves. And now they're talking about, what do we do on this campus?
That's why we want to have the filtered water stations that are available, hopefully, I think ideally throughout campus, so that people have a sustainable alternative rather than just going to buy a Coke.
There's a couple of administrators that are really interested in this issue, which may be surprising, but they've heard this before, and they're also concerned. Removing bottled water from campus and getting filtered water stations on campus won't be an overnight deal, like anything on campus. So they've agreed to take part in a bottled water committee, and not to enforce death by committee. But I think that's kind of the only way that we're going to move forward with this is having folks who are saying, I'd like to actually take part in this for a year and see this through to completion.
Just want to say that thank you for coming. Thanks to also the Human Services class that made that awesome pamphlet. If you didn't get one, they're out on the table, and thanks for your guys' help. And obviously this is a really big issue, and this is just like really scratching the surface of what our class and I think the Human Services class has done. And so if you are interested in getting more involved, we do have a sign-up sheet outside. Just throw your email on that and generate a little bit more energy around it.
We are part of this planet, and we can't just pack up and go to another one. You know, we have to protect our resources that we have here.
To also see students have some avenue to make some change. And what the students, and what you and the students have done, I think is, I mean, this is going to be a big issue, and I think you have started to roll the ball on this campus about doing something about water. So I'm very proud of the class, small and mighty, but I think it's a really critical first step to get this going on this campus, and knowing it's going to, you know, take time, but the awareness is starting.